It all started in the mid-80s, a time when video games were seen as fleeting distractions. Then came a simple plumber named Mario, and everything changed. Super Mario Bros. Wasn't just a game, it was a revolution. For the first time, players weren't just moving left to right, they were embarking on an adventure. What made this game so captivating wasn't just its charm or its catchy music, it was the way it introduced groundbreaking mechanics that rewired how we thought about playing. From the very first screen, it demanded something new from players: timing, precision, and imagination. And from that first leap onto a Goomba, the world of gaming was forever transformed. Before Super Mario Bros., jumping in video games was basic: press a button and your character hops. But Mario's jump, it was something entirely different. For the first time, the physics felt alive. Mario didn't just float or hop mindlessly, he soared with momentum. If you ran before jumping, he leapt further. If you held the jump button longer, he stayed in the air just a moment more. This wasn't just a mechanic, it was an art. And it didn't stop there. Players learned to use the jump to interact with the environment, bouncing on enemies to defeat them or breaking blocks to reveal hidden treasures. Every leap felt like an invitation to explore what secrets might lie just out of reach. This was the magic. Every jump told its own story. From the moment Mario stepped into the Mushroom Kingdom, players were pulled into a universe unlike anything they had seen before. Each level wasn't just a series of platforms, it was a living, breathing world. Pipes hinted at hidden depths, leading players to underground treasures. Question blocks floated above, daring you to discover their secrets. Enemies weren't just obstacles, they were puzzles waiting to be solved. Could you stomp on them, avoid them, or use them to your advantage? And let's not forget the castles. At the end of each world, players faced Bowser in his lair, a fiery gauntlet of challenges that felt like an epic conclusion. Every step Mario took felt like part of a larger story, one that kept players hooked until the very end. Then there were the power-ups, the true game changers. The Super Mushroom turned Mario into a towering force to be reckoned with, letting players smash through blocks that once seemed indestructible. The Fire Flower, a revelation. It gave Mario the ability to shoot fireballs, making even the toughest enemies seem beatable. And the Starman, pure joy. With invincibility coursing through your pixels, you felt unstoppable, dashing through enemies like a hero. These weren't just tools, they were a promise that with each new level, you could become stronger, smarter, and more prepared for what lay ahead. The brilliance of these mechanics was how they gave players control over their own destiny, making the experience deeply personal. What truly set Super Mario Bros. Apart was its legacy. It wasn't just a game you played, it was a game that stayed with you. Decades later, people still remember the joy of discovering a hidden warp zone or the rush of finally defeating Bowser. It set the standard for every platformer that followed, laying the foundation for countless beloved games. But more than that, it taught players to dream bigger. Games didn't have to be simple. They could be journeys, adventures, and even works of art. Super Mario Bros. Was more than a cultural phenomenon. It was a promise that gaming could be limitless. And it all started with one plumber, one jump, and one groundbreaking idea. This is the story of how a simple game turned an industry on its head, creating a blueprint for innovation that we're still following today. Because when Mario leapt, so did gaming, and nothing has been the same since.